Hi, I'm Vaz. Welcome to my story. 23 times during my life I've lost 50 or more pounds. All it took was for me to realize that foods like this are what should fuel your life. I want you to eat a salad every day. I want you to use baby spinach in your salad instead of just iceberg lettuce. Use romaine lettuce, use red lettuces. If you have to use iceberg, use it. Whatever makes you eat a salad every day. Include tomatoes, include onions. If you like mushrooms, put those in your salad. Here's another important part. Seeds are great for you. You should eat seeds, nuts, all the time. What should I do with my seeds? Snack on them? Not going to hurt you to snack on your seeds, but here's a fact I learned from the doctor. If you crush up your seeds and mix them and make your own salad dressing with honey, mustard, throw your seeds in there, some spices, you can make a low-calorie dressing. If it includes those seeds or nuts, you get a 10-fold increase in the absorption of the nutrients in that salad. Hi, welcome to Vaz's Corner. This week I'm going to make a coleslaw. I'm going to use some white cabbage, some red cabbage. I got some homegrown carrots. I'll put an apple, an onion, and a couple of jalapenos. And these will get sliced up. They'll soak in some apple cider vinegar and some soy-based salad dressing. I'll put it all in a Ziploc bag and shake it up, and I'll keep it in the refrigerator for probably a week, but it's got to be there at least 24 hours so that the cabbage starts to soften up enough that you can eat it, because none of this will be cooked. This will just be all raw vegetables thrown into that bag and made into a coleslaw. So I took that mayonnaise and that apple cider vinegar and I poured it all over these vegetables. You can see the carrots, the apples, the different colored cabbage. It's already starting to break down. I'll just take this pot and I'll throw it right in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow, if I don't eat it tomorrow, I'll bag it up in a Ziploc and it'll stay in there, like I said, for a week or more in the refrigerator. The longer it sits, the more it breaks down, the easier it is to eat. Sometimes I pour it over couscous as a sauce, because after you eat most of it, there's still some white sauce left in the bottom of the Ziploc in your refrigerator, and it becomes like a cucumber sauce, very mild. There's no spice to it really after it sits there a week or so. Anyway, that's it with the coleslaw. When you make these type of vegetable salads, it's tasty, and you get all these vegetables into your diet. You get the carrots, the purple cabbage, the regular white cabbage, you got apples in there, jalapenos. Just another way to keep eating nutritious foods and tasty foods at the same time. Here's the beginning. You must eat a salad every day. At first. The first thing you're going to do is this. You're going to go through your cabinets and you're going to cleanse your house of all processed foods. I know that sounds hard. You spent money on the processed foods. Maybe everybody in your house isn't going to jump on the NUTRITARIAN lifestyle, but it will become much easier for you if you only include fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, minimally processed foods in your pantry cabinets or in your kitchen cabinets, wherever you keep your canned goods and your packaged goods. Your whole grain pastas, you're going to step up. You're going to remove all the white flour products from your life. You're going to remove all the white rice, all the white pastas. Get rid of all of these and help your body become healthy. What we want is we want you to understand that what nutritional value am I gaining from each one of the ingredients that I put in my food? So now we've had a short discussion about caloric intake. Are calories important? Yes, they are. That's really the factor that determines if you gain or lose weight. I don't care what anyone says, calories have always been important. Now, the calories we consume do make a difference, because the more healthy ingredients, fresh fruit, vegetables, whole grains that we include in our diet, the better our body processes every other ingredient that we take into our body. So it's a synergistic effect, which means multiple factors working in conjunction to speed up the process. And I believe what happened was I changed my own metabolism. Now, even if I do consume some cookies or something on a holiday, the next day they seem to all be eliminated from me. I think my body knows what's good and what's not good more and more all the time, and it rejects worthless, empty calories, and it absorbs so much more of the nutrition that I consume. I feel healthier all the time. Today I'm making some couscous. I wanted to show you how easy it is. In this pan I just boiled 1 1/4 cups of water with some seasonings, my favorites, turmeric, cumin, some other seasonings. Now I just add 1 cup of the organic couscous I'm using to the water. This is the easiest starch you could ever make. Stir it up. I've already shut the power off on the stove, but you just get the water boiling and you shut it off. You stir up the couscous that much, put the cover on, done. In 5 minutes you have couscous. I'll show you that in 5 minutes. First, let me show you. We were using organic couscous here. It's actually made with whole wheat. Back here on the nutrition facts, we find out that this couscous gives us, I used 1 cup, so the serving size is 1/4 cup dry couscous. We used 1 cup, which is 4 times that much, times 150 calories. I'm making vegetable couscous, so this entire pot, when it's done, will have 600 calories from couscous. On top of that, personally, I like it with mixed vegetables. Oh, come on, Vaz, you're saying, how do you use vegetables in a can? Because fresh vegetables aren't always affordable or available, so you have to eat something, and if you're going to continue your healthy lifestyle, I'm showing you there are ways that you can simply and easily make a meal. This couscous took 5 minutes to cook. It takes less than 1 minute to add a can of vegetables to it. No salt added, very important. That gives it almost no sodium whatsoever added to the recipe. On the back I have the nutrition facts. They show me 45 calories per serving, very low. 3½ servings, so that's about 135 calories, 150 or so calories by adding the whole can. So now we have, say, let's push it to its extreme, 750 calories in our vegetable couscous. Awesome dish to go on any plate. You could mix it with meat or greens or whatever else you'd like to eat. It's 750 calories. For me, that makes 2 meals, so that's only about 380 calories a meal. Very good dinner for you, or even lunch. But you don't always have to use mixed vegetables. You could use any vegetable you want. You want more protein in it? Use some sweet peas. No salt added again. We turn it around, we see you get about 15 grams of protein from a can of peas if you put that in your couscous. And you're still only getting 200 additional calories. Or maybe you want to get a whole bunch of vitamin A in your diet that day. Eat these carrots and you get 200% of your daily serving of vitamin A each time you eat it. And you're actually only adding 105 calories with a whole can of no salt added carrots. There's a few other options. How about some corn? I don't eat a whole bunch of corn, but occasionally I like to have some. It gives me a little vitamin C, a little iron, and that again, like the peas, is about 200 calories. It's also about 8 grams of protein, believe it or not, from the corn. And then I have a can of no salt added green beans here. You could add those too. It depends what vegetables you like the most. This only adds 70 calories to the whole thing if you use green beans.
Okay.
So we stir up the couscous with our fork. You see how fluffy it is. And then you see it come onto the plate. That's a lot of food. I eat a lot of food. To get thin and lose body fat, I didn't stop eating. I didn't starve myself. I eat all the time. Almost every night from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Vaz eats. I eat fruits, vegetables. I eat meat. A lot of times I definitely eat my oatmeal every day before I leave the house, but then I might not get lunch in, so if I get home at 5 o'clock, the first meal I eat is lunch. I love to cook. I'll spend the next 3 hours in the kitchen cooking, and at 8 p.m. I'll eat another meal, which basically becomes my dinner. I'm always eating. You see how much this couscous made. All I'm going to do to turn it into vegetable couscous is open this can, rinse it, drain it, mix it in with this, mix it up. That's it. I don't use any butter, extra seasonings, anything. And then this becomes the starchy, vegetable-y side dish to collards maybe, or I might be making pork chops that day. I could make a meatloaf in the oven, anything. It's just like having meat and potatoes. That's what the couscous is. Now I will have to make another drastic change, which I feel like, even though I haven't cut sugar completely out of my diet, I cut white sugar out, but I've still consumed brown sugar the whole time, molasses. I've tried other turbinado sugars. I've tried coconut sugar. Because I, like almost everyone else on the American diet, am physically addicted to sugar. They put sugar in almost everything we eat to get us addicted to eating that product. That's the ingredient that they put in everything from hamburgers to salad dressing to make you crave that. It's a physical addiction that's hard to break. So over the course of the year, which this is normal from what I heard from the doctor that motivated me in the beginning. Most of the people that adopt this nutritarian lifestyle, they lose about 100 pounds during the first 12 months. Some people it's more accelerated than that. If I had exercised 5 times a week the whole year, I probably would have lost 175 pounds by now, but it's still a 150-pound loss in 12 months makes me very happy. It makes all the people in my life happy. I have so much energy. I never stop taking care of others. I do have a caretaker. I also do have, though, a drill sergeant mentality, which I've come more in control of through the nutritarian lifestyle, because as it cleanses my body, it also cleanses my mind. And I realize more and more that anger has no place in my life. And I try to think about what I'm going to say before I say it more and more. It still doesn't happen all the time, and I never hold anything back. If you ever met Vaz in person, you'll know. I'm going to tell you what's up, and I'm not going to hold anything back when I'm telling you about it. If you don't like it, I don't care. That's who I am. That's what I do. You don't have to get heart disease, you don't have to die of a heart attack, you don't have to get strokes, you don't have to get diabetes. All you need to do is take control of the nutrition in your life. Take control of your own diet. You don't need to go on a diet. You need to change your diet from the American diet to a nutritional diet that's been proven through science to make you healthy, to keep you healthy, and to reverse. Mushrooms and onions have great cancer-fighting abilities. In fact, this should be heard by every woman on the planet. If you consume one mushroom, 10 grams of mushrooms every day, 10 grams of mushrooms is equivalent to one white button mushroom. I prefer the darker family of mushrooms, which I think have a more meaty taste. And I'm not a big mushroom fan, so as I've said in the past when I had my sauce making episode, I chop my mushrooms up very fine and my onions up very fine, and I include them in my tomato sauce. Then I use my tomato sauce in many different things. This is giving me, even as a male, the breast cancer fighting capabilities of the synergistic effect of onions and mushrooms. Now, I mentioned the 10 grams of mushrooms each day. Why is this important to a woman? You have a 60% plus reduction in the risk of getting breast cancer if you consume one 10-gram mushroom every day for the rest of your life. If you combine that with onions, say you chop up one white onion, one red onion each day, and you chop up some mushrooms and you include them in your salad every day, you now have a 65 to 75% chance that you're not going to get any type of cancer. This should be known to everyone on our planet. This should be preached from every mountaintop, so to speak. Every teacher in every class in every school should teach the kids this their entire lives. So I'm putting together that muffin recipe. They could be breakfast muffins, you could take them for lunch, make a dozen, share them with your coworkers, teach them what it's all about using healthier ingredients when you bake goods. These muffins are actually gluten-free. When you start to do gluten-free baking, it's not as easy as using regular all-purpose flour when you cook something. Even though a lot of recipes say you can substitute like this coconut flour 1 for 1 or this oat flour 1 for 1 for all-purpose flour, the non-gluten flours seem to work better in conjunction with each other when you try to make something. So the all-purpose gluten-free flour mix that I've put together here contains 1/2 cup of this coconut flour, 1/2 cup of this oat flour. It's got a 1/2 cup of brown sugar in it, a tablespoon of cornstarch. To that we're going to add 1 tablespoon of flax meal, which I freshly ground. Take a nice tablespoon of that, sprinkle it right in the mix. Next, I'm going to want a whole tablespoon of cinnamon. Provides a lot of flavor to this molasses muffin. This molasses muffin is now the basis of my fruit muffins. I came across it this weekend, discovered it all works very well in conjunction with each other. And I could put any kind of fruit I want in the muffins. I've even made them with frozen blueberries. I chop up apples. Whenever you use fruit, you just cover the fruit with some flour mixture right before you put it in. You mix the wet with the dry, you flour the fruit, and then right before you're going to put them in the oven, you mix the fruit in. But all along the way with this mixture, there's no eggs in it, no milk. It's gluten-free, there's no butter in it. So to get these to rise and act like regular muffins in the oven, I use this baking soda right here. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that in there. And I use some apple cider vinegar in these too, which actually goes real good with the molasses and cinnamon flavors. So in addition to those, you could add any other flavors you want. For me, I prefer the molasses myself. I actually like it that way. It's very moist. We're going to add a pinch of salt. And that's the end of the dry ingredients. Just mix that together. Show you what this looks like here. It's a little darker than regular white flour, but it does have brown sugar in it again. It's got coconut flour, oat flour, and I just mix all of those dry ingredients together. Okay, we'll put those over here for a second. Now we have to mix the wet part of the recipe. So that's going to start with a half a cup of applesauce, a quarter cup of molasses. That's going to go here in this bowl. To that I'm going to add 1/2 cup very warm water. You want to mix those ingredients up very well. Mix those up, and then right at the end I'm going to add a little apple cider vinegar to the mix. You just want to get these mixed up fairly well. It gets darker and darker as you mix it, as the molasses blends in with the applesauce and the water. Again, no butter in this recipe, no eggs, no milk. It's gluten-free. And then I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Again, we just mix this together. Bring my dry ingredients back over here. Now I'm going to blend this wet in with the dry. The wet goes in, it almost immediately starts to foam up from the vinegar baking soda reaction. And you mix this very gently. It's like folding in a souffle, really. But once it folds in, it all starts to foam up and it becomes a really nice batter, a light batter. These are lighter than you think they're going to be because it's a gluten-free recipe. And the molasses reacts with the vinegar and the sugar that's in here. It all reacts together to make a muffin-like mixture. Even though there's no eggs in it, no milk, no butter, it's still going to rise in the oven. They're going to look exactly like muffins. The coconut flour absorbs a lot of liquids as it cooks, so maybe that seemed like a lot of liquid, but I'll let you see what the muffin mixture looks like now. It's pretty much it. That's as much as we want to mix it. Now we just take our pre-greased muffin tin over here and spoon it into the muffin tins. My brother requested some breakfast muffins for Christmas, and I didn't really have a recipe, so that night I decided, you know what? I've been doing a lot of gluten-free baking, and it is a lot of experimentation, and I had a pretty good idea what I could get to work, so I did create a muffin recipe, and everybody liked it at Christmas, so I did get to treat some new people to the NUTRITARIAN lifestyle of changing unhealthy ingredients to healthy ingredients. Okay. Well, I got 5 muffins out of that mixture. Like I said, the coconut flour absorbs a lot of liquid, so I thought I'd get 6, but I only got 5. Not bad, though. Anyway, that's the basis for all my muffins. What I'll do with the rest of this tin is I'm going to mix this row with blueberries, this one with apples, and I might get a couple orange zests. That's what I try to do every time. That way I have a bunch of different flavors, just like if you went to the donut shop, you get different options with your muffins. Like I said, for me the molasses ones are fine, but some people like to have more fruit or different flavors. You could even flavor them with peanut butter, I'm sure, or any other kind of seeds or nuts, walnuts, chocolate chips. You could put cocoa in this mixture and make it into a chocolate muffin instead of a molasses muffin. But for Vaz, this is the base recipe for my gluten-free flour mix. And I'll show you what they look like once they come out of the oven. Okay, now I'll take some of this orange mixture and I'll put that in the tins. Looks like we only got 11 with our mixture, but that's not uncommon. It takes a lot of alternative flour to replace 2 cups of flour in a normal baking recipe, so It's always experimentation, but I know these taste good because I made them yesterday. Okay, there's 11 muffins we got. We have 3 molasses, 3 with apples, 3 with blueberries, and a couple with orange zest. So I've already preheated this oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to put them in here for exactly 15 minutes. I'll set my timer, and I'll let you see what they look like when they come out. Now these muffins have cooled off, so I wanted you to see they'll spin right around in this and come right out. And there you have it. That's how our muffins come out. They're nice and moist. Come right out of the tin. You could turn them right around. This is the molasses ones. So that's the original recipe. I like to take them out, then the bottoms dry out too. They're really moist. Over here we have our orange ones. Those are very moist. Wow. It smells very orangey. That smells awesome. So that's it for right now in Vaz's Corner, but I do want to drive that point home. Get the processed foods out of your house. Start to walk the outside of your grocery store. But for me, I walk into the grocery store every single time. I go right to the racks of day-old fruit and vegetables. I go through all of them. I load my cart with whatever I think I can make into a tasty, healthy meal from that area of the grocery store. Then I go back, if I haven't gotten my collards, which I usually buy fresh, I buy a nice fresh head of kale. I bring all those home and I develop recipes myself. You'll develop your own recipes. You'll see what you like to eat. You'll develop taste buds you forgot you even had. You'll redevelop taste for foods, healthy foods. You'll love the flavors of foods. You're not going to believe it. Try it out. Go through your cabinets. Throw away all the garbage. Right in the garbage. Make a big game out of it. Make a film of it if you want. Send it to me. I'll put it on my show. Show me your results. I'd love to see somebody jump on this bandwagon like I did 12 months ago and have all the energy I have now and have a need to tell others how awesome it is to consume healthy, delicious, fresh fruits and vegetables. You can eat as much as you want and you're not going to even reach your caloric intake. You'll see what I'm talking about. The weight's just going to fall off and it's going to be mostly body fat. You're not going to lose muscle. You're going to want to exercise. And once again, I'm here whenever you have questions. Go to Vaz's My Story page on Facebook. It's Vaz/Vaz Stories. I couldn't make it Vaz My Story. That was already taken. So it's it's Facebook/Vaz Stories. Go to that. You'll find my page. Ask me any questions I want. I go on there about once a week. I try to update the videos and answer any questions I might have. You can private message me and talk to me that way, or you can just ask questions on the page. Either way, I'll give the best answer I can. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. As I say in my disclaimer on the show, Vaz is not a medical doctor and Vaz is not a licensed dietitian. All I know is what I use in my own life and what works for me, and I want to share it with you, and that's what this show is all about.
Hi, Miz reporting on peppers. I have a green pepper here, and it is high vitamin C for you. There's all sorts of colors like orange, yellow, and there's also green.